Hi students, in today's chapter we'll be talking about adjective. Basically in BM, adjective means kata sifat. So we have to learn about adjective for us to be able to describe something. Words like shy, big, small, tall, short, long, and so on are examples of adjective. So we are going to use this word to describe a noun. Let's start. Okay, so let's start with the definition of adjective. Basically, adjective is a word that describes or modifies a noun. Remember, we learned about noun in the first chapter, so adjective is the word that is used to describe it. For example, Sarah is tall. Well, that's not a fact, I'm quite short. But Sarah is tall. Sarah is the noun and tall is the adjective, kata sifat of Sarah. So there are many other words that are adjective like big, small, smart, dumb, long, short, and so on. An adjective also changes the meaning of a noun by giving more information about it. Sarah is tall, so that is the information given about Sarah. An adjective describes, identifies, or quantifies a noun. And usually an adjective comes before the noun it modifies. Now here are some examples of adjective. Famous. She is a famous singer. So the adjective famous here describes the noun singer. So remember, keep in mind that adjective describes a noun. So this famous here describes the singer. What about the singer? She's famous. Bella Hadid is the most beautiful woman in the world. So the adjective here is beautiful. So beautiful here is describing the noun woman. When you want to find the adjective, find something that is describing a noun. Kind. I have a very kind father. So the adjective kind here is describing the noun father. Big. The mouse is very big. So big here is describing the noun mouse. Now, here are more examples of adjectives that sometimes students couldn't identify, so let's look at them. Confusing. Confusing is also an adjective. Just try to remember in the end, adjective means kata sifat. The lesson is very confusing. So, sifat lesson tu, sifat pelajaran tu adalah sangat mengelirukan. So, this adjective here is describing the noun lesson. Boring. This movie is boring. Boring is describing the movie. Exciting. I have an exciting adventure ahead of me. So, exciting is the adjective. It is describing the adventure. The airport has many duty-free shops. So, duty-free is the adjective and it is describing the noun shop. Okay, whenever it is describing a noun and dia adalah kata sifat, those are the adjective. Now let's move on to the degree of adjective. Adjective can express degrees of modification. For example, tall, taller, tallest, tinggi, lebih tinggi, paling tinggi. So basically you add ER and then you add EST. ER for lebih, EST for paling. Big, bigger, biggest. Can you guess the next one? Small, smaller, smallest. Kind, kinder, kindest. Thick, thicker, thickest. Slow, slow, slower, slowest. Fast, faster, fastest. Now, let's look at how to say two things are equal. Dua benda adalah sama. So when we want to indicate that two things are equal, we're going to use adjective as tall as small as big as. Ali is as tall as the tree. Ali sama tinggi dengan pokok tu. The ball is as small as a tennis ball. The house is as big as a palace. Rumah tu sama besar macam istana. So, after this, whenever you want to say something is equal in English, just use as, put the adjective and then add another as. Now, let's discuss about comparative adjectives. So, when we want to compare two things, basically we just add ER and then add the word than. Basically, we just use ER than. nicer than, bigger than, noisier than, smaller than. So for tall, you can change it to taller than. Ali is taller than Abu. Ali lebih tinggi dari Abu. Shorter than, longer than. Let's look at the superlative form of adjective. Hard, harder, hardest. Nice, nicer, nicest. There are two ways to indicate this. The first one is to add er and est. The second one is you just add more and most and nothing happens to the adjective. Look at example there. Hard, harder, hardest. Nice, nicer, nicest. Safe, safer, safest. These are the ones that add er and est. For words that are longer, that have about 3 syllables, you're just going to add more and most before it, because you cannot add er and est, or else it will be too long. Beautifuler, beautifulest, that doesn't make sense, right? So we're just going to add more before it. More beautiful, most beautiful. She is more beautiful than her sister. She is the most beautiful person on earth. Intelligent. Intelligent has 4 syllables. Intelligent. So it is already a long word. So we're not going to add er and est to it. So we have to add more and most before it. She is more intelligent than her friend. She is the most intelligent student in class. So here are the adjectives that are special. Okay? For bad, little, much, and also good, we do not add er and est. The word changes in superlative form. Bad will become worse and worst. Teruk, lebih teruk, paling teruk. So if you're going to say lebih teruk, it is the one with the E. But if you're going to say paling teruk, it is the one with T. For example, she is worse than her. Dia lagi teruk daripada dia. She is worse than her friend. Dia tu paling teruk. She is the worst friend I've ever had. Okay, so I hope you are able to differentiate between these two. Words with the E is lebih teruk. Words with the T is paling teruk. Little, less, least. Nama juga. Sikit, lebih sikit, paling sikit. Much, more, most. Banyak, lebih banyak, paling banyak. Good, better, best. Baik, lebih baik, paling baik. She is better in mathematics than me. She is the best student in mathematics. Now let's try to do this exercise together. Let's try to identify the adjective. Jom kita cari adjective together. Danny caught the red ball. So if you find it hard to find the adjective, first just look for the noun. Because remember, adjective describes and modifies a noun. So we look for the noun in the sentence here, and then we find the word that describes it. So the noun here is ball. So the word red here is the adjective because it is describing the ball. Bola tu warna apa? What color is the ball? The ball is red in color. So red is the adjective. The dog found a large stick. The adjective is large. Why? Because it is describing the stick. The stick is large. My mom is a pretty lady. So the adjective here, kata sifat, pretty. It is describing the noun lady. The little tree is easy to climb. So the adjective here is little. It is describing the tree. Lisa likes to ride fast cars. So the adjective here is fast. Because fast is sifat untuk the car. The car is fast. Sarah has a beautiful cat. The adjective is beautiful. It is describing the cat. Okay, remember adjective is kata sifat. We live in a big city. Okay, apa sifat city tu? City tu besar. So big is the adjective. Robert liked German cars. So the adjective is German because it is describing the car. What kind of cars are those? They are German cars. Nancy has a lot of expensive clothes. So the adjective is expensive. It is describing the clothes. I have a pair of black shoes. Now remember, colors are adjective. So black hair describing the shoes, so the answer is black. Jim is a funny guy. The adjective here is funny. It is describing the guy. Thomas has a young daughter. So young is the adjective and it is describing daughter. George has long hair. Long is the adjective. This is an interesting book. The adjective is interesting. That is a silly movie. The adjective is silly. It is describing the movie. Okay, so I hope you have no trouble in identifying the adjective in all the sentences here. Keep in mind, adjectives are words that describe a noun. In BM, we call it kata sifat. So if you find kata sifat in the sentence, that is the adjective. Okay, so let's do the second exercise. You can do this on your own first. Pause the video and after you're done, we can discuss together. Okay, now let's discuss together. We are doing the comparative adjective here, which we add er then. My sister thinks she's... Should we add er to intelligent? No, because intelligent is already a long word. So we don't add er, we add more behind it. My sister thinks she's more intelligent than me, but I don't agree. Avatar is... Remember, bad is the one that is special. Bad, worse with E, worst with T. So this one, because it is comparing, we're going to use the second option, worse with E. Avatar is worse than Batman. Do you think the Harry Potter films are good than the books? So for good, we change it to better. Do you think the Harry Potter films are better than the books? I think Men in Black 1 was, this one we just add ER, funnier than Men in Black 3. Is Angelina Jolie older than Sandra Bullock? John is nicer than Jane. Okay, let's do the third exercise together. As usual, you can pause this video first and try on your own and then we can discuss together. Okay, let's discuss who is the tallest person in your family. Remember, we are doing superlative now. Yang paling, we can use EST or you just add the word most. Who is the tallest person in your family? My mom is the... Good is the special adjective, so we are going to use best here. Remember, good, better, best. So my mom is the best cook in the world. December is the coldest month of the year in my country, so you add EST. What's the dangerous animal in the world? So this one we are going to use most. We're going to add most to it. What's the most dangerous animal in the world? Why don't we add EST? Because dangerous already has 3 syllables. So if it has 3 syllables or more, then we are going to use most. Ethan is the happiest boy that I know. For this one, you just add EST because happy only got 2 syllables. Where are the nicest beach in your country? She bought the biggest cake in the shop. Who is the... Okay, for famous, it only has 2 syllables, but we are going to use most. Who is the most famous singer in your country? Because it's very hard to pronounce famouses, right? So we are just going to add most. So as you can see here, the rules are not very rigid. So what you can do is try to read a lot in English. You will eventually know in a natural way whether to add EST or to add most to form a superlative adjective. Okay, this is the last exercise. We're going to use as adjective as to say that something is in equal rank. Something is the same. She is as beautiful as a doll. Dia cantik macam patung. He is as fierce as a lion. The man is as smart as Einstein. The TV is as big as the screen at the cinema. Snow White is as fair as the snow. Her face shines as bright as the moon. His father is as tall as mine. Squid Game is as good as Train to Busan. So there you have it, all types of adjective. I hope you're able to use it in everyday conversation. Bye!
Alright, so that's it for today's class. I hope you learned a lot from it. I'll talk to you in the next chapter. Bye!